It's April 1st in the year of the great pandemic, and this isn't an April Fool's joke. I'm just trying out my mask. I want to make sure it works all right, that I can breathe all right. It's filtering air. It's fitting pretty tight against my face. I was going to put a nose pinch right here. You can see when I breathe in, it's right against my lips. Seals up pretty tight. Made out of a dishcloth. Has tissue paper for a filter in here. Pretty fine. It's going to catch a lot. It's going to keep my spit from getting anybody else. Any droplets out of my lungs, my voice. Full of virus if I had it. It's going to stop that. I'm going to wear this when I go out. It's a public service. If I'm infected, I don't want to infect anybody else. Everybody else is infected. I don't want them infecting me. It's just where we're at now. We should all wear masks. It will greatly reduce the transmission. Less droplets falling onto handrails, doorknobs, items that you pick up. It's an act of common courtesy and decency, and we should all be doing it. I have macular degeneration. I can't read newsprint anymore. It was very hard for me to thread the needle. Even with one of those little threading devices, I still had trouble. If I can do it, you can do it. Didn't cost me more than $1. I mean, I got the towel at Dollar Tree, stuck a piece of ribbon, used ribbon that we had around the house to tie it up. Very simple. I'm sure that you could do better than me on this. Anyway, that's what I'm going to wear when I go out today, and I'm going to go to the store and do a couple of chores. We have a couple of necessities that need to be taken care of. And really, that's the only time we should be going out. It's going to take a while doing this. We're going to have to get used to living a little different for a while. It's going to take a good year and a half, probably, maybe less, but a year anyway, to get a vaccine for this so that we can be free again. Until that time, we're going to have to be super cautious. We're going to have to reduce the spread. These next few days, these next few weeks are going to be very hard as we find out that we were lied to by our government. This isn't a miracle that's suddenly going to disappear. This isn't something like just another flu. Those myths have already been dispelled. The morgue trucks outside the hospitals in New York. That's the truth, people. The sad thing is that we knew this months ago. In January, we airlifted masks, respirators, plastic gowns. We took all these things because the Chinese asked for them, because they were in dire straits. We sent our national reserve of masks to China, which I think was the right thing to do. Help stop it there. Help them, because they needed it. So we did the right thing. But then for some inexplicable reason, other than sheer stupidity, we neglected to crank up our manufacturing to replace these stocks, which we had bought from China, and their factories now closed. Where were our factories? Where was the guidance from the president? Because let's face it, the president should have said, yeah, let's crank out those masks, let's get ready now. Instead, in February, when the CDC said this is going to cause a significant impact for America, that was the last day a CDC spokesman spoke on their own about the outbreak. They were immediately reined in. Pence was put in charge of the coronavirus outbreak public persona. And we descended into sheer ignorance. when other countries were testing thousands, tens of thousands, 20,000 a day in Korea for a while. We were testing 2 or 3. We had no tests. The CDC, on orders from above, and the FDA did not allow testing to be done with using the WHO, the World Health Organization, approved tests. There were tests from Germany. There were tests from Roche in Switzerland. The South Koreans offered us tests. We did not use them. This allowed our politicians to keep the numbers low, to stop the panic, for fear of driving the market even lower. It was a great disservice to Americans. As a result, the lowest estimates now are that 100,000 will die. Maybe 200,000. This is the lowest of the best estimate. The worst estimates range up above 1 million, 2 million, more. Even today, we're still behind the thing. We still haven't caught up to what the Koreans were testing. The South Koreans, a small nation. That's where we're at. It's not about politics when we say that our leaders are doing mistakes. It's about survival. We can't afford to have an idiot in the White House at this time. And we do. We have a man who has ignored science. He ignored science until yesterday. It's the first time I ever saw him look honest when he says it's going to be a really bad 2 weeks coming. They showed him videos of a local hospital. He knows where he grew up. And you could see the realization on his face. It's going to be bad. A lot of us are going to die that didn't need to die. Make a mask. Stay home. Hunker down. Take care of your family. This is Marty in the bunker above the bay. April 1st, in the year of the Great Pandemic.